Just a brief reminder, please turn off the sound on your cell phones.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this most important moment in the lives of this couple. When Jeff and Emily asked me to be the officiant, I was so honored. I mean, not surprised, of course, but honored, humbly, very humbly honored. But honestly, being chosen to lead this ceremony and to sanctify your union today is an honor, and it's not one that I take lightly. So let's talk about these two. I've known Emily since college, and I've known Jeff for almost a decade. I met him through Emily when they first became friends way back in the day. And when I first met Jeff, my impression was hubba hubba. I mean, right? But then I shook off the stars and I got to know the guy. And as I got to know him, I was struck by how much of a gentleman he was. He almost seems like he's from a different time when ethical quality of our character had more integrity. Time and again, I've seen him show trust, respect, responsibility, fairness, and all the tenets of strong character. 2 nights ago, I was at their party, and he left his own party to walk me to my car. Who does that? Jeff is kind, he is selfless, and he is a caretaker. Now, when it comes to Emily, there's just way too many memories to count. From busting a move at Pop Stars, to movie nights, to theater arts parties in Santa Cruz, to a bajillion play club readings. But when I think of who Emily really is, one of the earliest memories I have of her comes to mind. At the end of our senior year, At UCSC, we took it upon ourselves to create and co-direct our theater arts college graduation musical medley number. Shocker! We forced every single person in our class to participate and made them be a part of this massive musical undertaking. And if you've never tried to get a reticent stage manager to don a boa and take the stage, then you've never risked everything the way Emily has. And it was then that I noticed her power and her passion. And she was and is an artistic force. And through her work and through her teaching, countless others have had the chance to get up on stage and live an actor's life for a reading, a workshop, a festival. And the only reason that came about, that so many artists, including myself and many in this room, have been inspired and nourished, is because of you. Your passion, your determination, and your generosity. These traits that I just mentioned in you both are what you must draw upon to nurture your marriage. When Emily's generosity stretches too thin, Jeff's sense of fairness will protect her. When Jeff sacrifices something he deserves because his selflessness gets in the way, Emily's passion and determination can guide him back. You match each other, and you have since you first met at that fateful play club reading of the movie Bridesmaids. So today, promises become permanent, and friends become family. The liminal states of bride and groom become wife and husband. And when I found out that you were going to do this, that you were going to get married, I was very happy, but I was not surprised because you can see it. You can see it in the way that they look each other. You can see it in their eyes. It's like an ocean wave that hits you and you have to take a step to keep your balance. The depth of love they have for each other, that's why we're all here. We can see it, we know it, we believe it. And so do they. They see it, they know it, and they believe it. They've fallen for each other, which is great because marriage means falling in love with the same person again and again. How awesome is that? You get to keep falling in love. Marriage is understanding the needs, hopes, desires, and ambitions of each other, being true to one another's self, and being able to readjust one's own mind according to each other's. Marriage means being deeply loved by someone, and that will give you strength. Marriage means loving someone deeply, and that will give you courage. And Jeff and Emily are here today to courageously join their lives together, to make each other a stronger person, and to move forward as one. Speaking of moving forward, the bride and groom have their own vows that they have prepared for each other, and Emily is going to go first.
All right. Jeff. I spent so long looking for you and I didn't even know it. Our paths crossed in weird ways for years, and yet it seemed like it took us forever to finally meet. Then once we did, it was like, boom, magnets. Jeff, I know I don't make things easy. Most of the people in this room know that as well. But I'm lucky because I have someone like you as a partner. I have an idea for a web series or a cabaret, and your response is never, well, that could never happen. It's always, okay, how do we make this happen? You trust me. You believe me. You fit into my family like you've always been a part of it. Which is crazy because you're Jeff Scott Carey. You're like the hottest guy in the quad. And I totally scored you guys because he's the lead in all the school musicals and he loves basketball. He's basically Troy Bolton from High School Musical. But I digress. Jeff, you are caring, kind, and considerate. You balance me out because I am absolutely none of those things. You're adventurous, inquisitive, and funny. All qualities I very much relate to. When we finally came together, it made me look back on my life before and go, how did I do that without him? Thank God, because I don't ever have to feel that way again. Yeah, I could compare us to the likes of Homer and Marge, or Han and Leia, or Ron and Sheila, but none of them would do us any justice, because it's you and me. It's Jeff and Emily being pulled together by magnets. I'm so lucky to be marrying my best friend, favorite person, and biggest cheerleader. Jeff and everyone here must understand that I am the lucky one. Not only for the obvious reasons, he's dreamy, he's kind, etc., but most importantly, I will never have to stress about making small talk with anyone ever again because you are so good at it. I seriously don't know how everyone becomes your friend after meeting you only once, but I guess it's your magnetism. Everyone who meets you falls for you. I certainly did. So thank you for choosing me. So as for wedding vows, I promise to tolerate your discussions of various sporty balls, rock out with you to 80s hair metal, and always help you find your sunglasses. I vow to swoon every time your smile lights up a room, to feel safe in your arms, and to melt whenever you sing. I promise to travel the world with you and have adventures that will last us a lifetime. I vow to love you just as much as Charlie Dog, but definitely more than Craig Jr. I promise that I will always believe in you and raise you up, just like you do for me. And above all, I promise that I will always hose you down in holy water if you get too hot. I can't break these promises because the magnets won't let me, Jeff. I love you, and I always will.
Now it's Jeff's turn.
Nice.
So I have to follow that? Emily, you laughed the other day when I said something like, I loved everything about you. And I guess it does sound like a pretty cheesy romantic line now that I'm repeating it. But everything about you is what makes you you. And for some reason, it makes me want to say cheesy romantic things like that. When I first met you, I instantly realized that you were wonderfully special. You have so much spirit and passion, ambition, drive, and such incredible talent. I thought, nah, this isn't possible. How could someone be so talented and so beautiful with such heart and ability and strength and so much light? And then also be funny. The funniest person and the smartest and the most vibrant person in the room. It's one of the great mysteries, I suppose. Throughout the years, as I've gotten to know you, it's been a lovely journey that I will always cherish. In the past, you said that we balance each other out well, and I've felt that at many times as well in our relationship. When I'm down, you pick me up, or when we share crazy fun moments together, or when you remind me to do something that I should have arguably not needed to be reminded about. Or when we're about to leave the house and Charlie, for some reason, moved my sunglasses somewhere other than where I put them down, and I can't find them, things like that. Those kind of times. I'm reminded that our differences do rather brilliantly fit together, and I'm very grateful for it every single day. Emily Ann Blumel Clark, I promise to be there for you through it all, through the ups and downs, when our love seems so simple, or when we have to put a bit of work in. You have me forever. I promise to give you the best of who I am every day, and I promise to learn and grow every day as we continue down this wonderful road. Falling in love with you is remarkably easy, and everything about us has always felt right. It's your spirit that inspires me, your heart that calms me. You are so much about everything that I love, and in so many ways. I promise to listen to you and be there for you in every way I can. I promise to support you in times when you need it, in times of sadness. I promise to pick you up when you just can't do it on your own. And I promise to find a place to consistently put my sunglasses so I'll know where they are at all times. And above everything else, I want to thank you for everything that you are. Thank you for loving me and for putting up with me. Thank you for giving me your heart. I love you beyond words. On this day, I have the honor of joining my life with yours, and on this day we are one, and it makes me so happy. I can't wait to have more adventures with you and build upon our love every day. Let's take the long way home.
We'll edit this out of the video.
So guys, now is the time where you hold each other's hands and you look into each other's eyes. Jeff Scott Carey Blaumiser, before your friends and family, do you take Emily as your lawfully wedded wife, to have and to hold, through laughter and in sadness, through challenges and triumphs, as long as you both shall live?
I do.
See with the heat.
It's a little morbid here, huh?
Emily Ann Blumel Clark, before your family and friends, do you take Jeff as your lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold through laughter and in sadness, through challenges and triumphs, as long as you both shall live?
I do.
With the promises you both made to love, respect, and support each other, and by the power vested in me by the state of California, I am happy to pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride. It is my pleasure to introduce for the first time Mr. Jeff Scott Carey and Mrs. Emily Clark. And now, as the bridal party slowly exits, we ask that you please stay seated and sing along with us as Emily's brother Cody Clark leads us in a song.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when the skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. When I awoke, dear, you were beside me. I lifted up my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. I'll always love you and make you happy if you will only say the same. I'll never leave you to love another. You're my sunshine forever and a day. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. Thank you all so much for coming. Please join us for some appetizers and hors d'oeuvres outside, and the bride and groom will be out shortly. Ooh.